Okay, welcome back mga ka-math learning or welcome back mga ka-ML dito sa ating new setup of a classroom. So, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon is on how to convert decimal to fraction. Ano po? So, magko-convert tayo mamaya ng decimal to fraction. So, ano ba yung pag-uusapan natin na numbers? Okay, we're going to deal with these numbers. Ano po? Okay, pag-uusapan natin na numbers will be decimal. So, anong klaseng decimal o anong klaseng fraction ba yun? Meron tayong rational numbers na pag-uusapan ngayon. At meron tayong dalawang klase na decimals dito. We're going to convert decimal, the terminating decimals, and also the non-terminating repeating decimals. So, lahat sila, or yan dalawang yan, is under the rational numbers. At pag-uusapan natin dyan yung decimal. Ano po? Yung decimal na gagawin natin into fraction. So later on, magbibigay ako ng tips o magbibigay ako ng techniques or shortcut on how to convert decimal to fraction, lalong-lalo na sa non-terminating repeating decimals. Pero gusto kong malaman nyo muna yung pinaka-process on how to convert that decimal to fraction. Now, bago tayo mag-umpisa, kailangan muna nating ma-master yung skills on how to simplify fraction in lowest term. So, gagamitin kasi natin po yan mamaya to convert fraction to decimal. Okay, let's consider the following given. Let's consider the following given in simplifying fraction into lowest term. So, suppose we have 20 over 40. How are we going to simplify this fraction into lowest term or reduce this fraction into lowest term? Ang gagawin lang po natin is dapat we're going to divide both numerator and denominator by the number na divisible yung 20 and 40. At number na yon is pwedeng 10 at pwedeng 20. So doon na tayo sa 20 kasi pwedeng ma-divide yung 20 at 40 by 20 over 40 divided by 20. So therefore, 20 divided by 20, we have 1. And then 40 divided by 20, we have 2. So therefore, our simplified or lowest term of this fraction, 20 over 40, is 1/2. Next, we have 16 over 20. How about 16 over 20? Now, ang pwedeng makapag-divide sa 20 and 16 is no other than, or pwedeng 4. Pwede nating i-divide siya by 4. So, 16 divided by 4. And then sa denominator, we have 20 divided by 4. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then 20 divided by 4 is no other than 5. So, meaning to say, our simplest form of, or reduced form of 16 over 20 is 4 over 5. And dito naman sa unahan, 20 over 40, we have 1/2. So ngayon, marunong na tayo mag-reduce ng fraction into lowest term or mag-simplify ng fraction into lowest term. So mamaya gagamitin natin tong skills na to. Ano po? So ngayon naman, pag-usapan naman natin kung ano yung sinasabi nating powers of 10. Because later on, dealing with decimal and fraction, kailangan natin alamin kung ano ba yung mga powers of 10. Tandaan nyo itong powers of 10 na to. In whole number, meron tayong powers of 10 or set of numbers na kung saan powers of 10 yung nasa loob. We have 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, and then 100,000. Next, into decimal form naman, meron tayong 0 and 1/10, 0 and 100s, 0 and 1,000s, and meron tayong 0 and 10,000s, and so on and so forth. Meron tayong tatlong ellipses dyan, so ibig sabihin, madami pa yan. Ano po? Madami pang 0 dyan o madami pang powers of 10. Now, wag natin kakalimutan yung powers of 10 ha. Okay, let's start converting decimal to fraction. Let's start with this basic one. Unahin natin yung basic muna tayo. We have 0 and 2/10. Ang unang-unang gagawin natin is to look for the number. Ano yung number na nakikita natin after the decimal point? So, meron tayong number na 2. And then, kunin natin yung 2 yan, lagay natin siya sa numerator. And then, alamin natin yung whole number na to, or yung 2, kung ano kung ano ba yung place value niya. So yung place value niya is nasa 10th place. So meaning to say, kung nasa 10th place siya, gagamitin natin yung powers of 10 na 10. Kasi eto po siya 0 and 1 tenths, same as 0 and 2 tenths na decimal place. Meron tayong 10. So gamitin natin yung 10 as our denominator. And then, pwede na natin siyang i-reduce into lowest term by simply dividing both numerator and denominator by 2. Kasi yung 2 ang pwedeng makapag-divide sa numerator and denominator. So, divide 2, then divide 2. So, 2 divided by 2, we have 1. And then sa denominator man, 10 divided by 2, we have 5. So, therefore, our fraction form of this decimal is 1 over 5. Next examples, di ba ang dali-dali lang? Okay, next example, we have 0 and 5 hundredths. So ngayon, anong nakikita yung number na meron dito sa decimal na to? Meron tayong nakikitang 5. Okay, we have 5. Okay, we have 5 and then the denominator will be, ano kaya ang place value ng 5? Meron tayong, yung 0 nasa 10th place, at yung 5 naman is nasa hundredths place. Tandaan nyo, hundredths place. So, meaning to say, ang gagamitin natin na powers of 10 will be 100. Okay, our denominator will be 100. So, I hope nakikita nyo po ano po. We have 100 and then reduce that into lowest term. Yung 5 over 100 pwede tayong mag-reduce ng lowest term na pwede tayong makadivide ng 5, both numerator and denominator. So yung 5, i-rewrite natin, 5 over 100. Pwede tayong mag-divide ng 5, both numerator and denominator. So 5 divided by 5, we have 1. And then 100 divided by 5, we have 20, right? Tama ba ako? Meron tayong 20. So, meaning to say, our fraction form of 0 and 5 hundredths will be 1 over 20. So, as simply as that. Next, how about 0 and 36 hundredths? So, meron na tayo 36 hundredths. So, ang gagawin natin dyan, ano yung number na nakikita natin? Meron tayong number na nakikitang 36. So, yung 36 na yan, gagawin natin yan as our numerator. We have 36. Okay, we have 36 here. And then, ano kaya yung magiging denominator natin? Guess what? Okay, alamin natin kung yung 36 na yon is anong place value niya. So, yung 3 is nasa 10th place at yung 6 is nasa hundredths place. So, tama yung iniisip mo. Ang gagamitin natin is yung denominator na powers of 10 na 100. Di ka nagkakamali sa naiisip mo, KML. So next, ano kaya ang pwedeng makabag-divide sa numerator and denominator? Copy natin ulit, 36, and then 100. So ang pwede nating i-divide both numerator and denominator will be 4. Right? Okay, tama ka ulit, KML. So 36 divided by 4 will be 9. And also, 100 divided by 4, we have how many? Yes, hindi ka nagkakamali. Meron tayong 25. So therefore, KML or ka-math learning, ang our fraction form ng decimal na 36 hundredths will be 9 over 25. So yan po, ang dali-dali. So let's have some more examples para ma-master nyo. Ano po? So, tapos na tayo dito. So, mamaya naman to. Remove na natin yan. So, next we have... Now, let's examine this one. Next example tayo. Meron tayong 0 and 102 thousandths. Now, how are we going to convert this decimal to fraction? Anong nakikita yung numbers dyan? Meron tayong numbers after the decimal na 102. So, take that number, 102. Kunin lang natin yung 102 yan. Over. Now, ano kaya ang place value ng number na to? Meron tayong tenths, hundredths, Yes, hindi ka nagkakamali. Meron tayong thousands. So, gagamitin natin na powers of 10 is yung 1,000. Meron tayong 1,000 sa denominator. Kung napapansin nyo, class, nagkakaroon lang tayo ng pattern. Kung ano yung nakikita natin na number, yan yung magiging numerator. At yung numerator at ang denominator natin is magdidepende kung ano ba ang place value ng numerator natin na kinuha dito. So, meron tayong thousands place. So, meaning to say, our denominator will be in the thousands place. Next thing we need to do is to reduce this fraction into lowest term. Next, ano kayong pwedeng makapag-divide sa 102 and 1,000? So, pwede nating i-divide yung 2. Pwede siya by 2. So, therefore, 102 divided by 2, we have 51. And also, 1,000 divided by 2, we have 500. So, pwede pa ba? May number pa bang na pwede makapag-divide sa 51 and 500? Wala na. So, therefore, our fraction form of this decimal will be 51 over 500. Next, how about this 1, 5, and 25 hundredths? How are we going to deal with that? Meron na tayong whole number dito. And meron tayong fraction. Meron tayong whole number and meron tayong decimal form. Ano kayong gagawin natin dyan? Okay, huwag kayong matakot kasi ang gagawin lang po natin dyan is takpan lang natin itong 5, then meron tayong 0.25. Yung 25 na yan, gawin natin numerator. And then, ano ba ang place value ng 25 na to after this decimal point? Meron tayong powers of 10 na gagamitin na 100 also. Pero wag nating kalimutan si 5. Ano po, mamaya natin yan pakikialaman. Next, ano kaya ang number na ano kayang numbers na makapag-divide sa 25 and 100? Meron tayong tama ka ulit, 25. Okay, hindi na yung 5 kasi pag nagamit natin yung 5, magdi-divide ulit tayo niya ng 5. So kaya doon na tayo sa mas mataas na number. So we have 25. 25 divided by 25, we have 1. Okay, we have 1. And then 100 divided by 25, we have, kasi po yung 25 yung makakapag-divide sa numerator and denominator, we have 4. Yes, so the answer in this fraction will be 1 over 4 or 1/4. Pero wag nating kalimutan yung 5. Ano po, wag nating kalimutan si 5. So yan naman kasi kayo ang hilig nyo manglimot. Ano po, so meron pa yung 5, so kukunin natin yung 5 at ilalagay natin dito. So eto na yung 5, and then kunin natin yung 1/4 na nakuha natin. Ano po, so meron tayong 1 over 4. So therefore, the fraction form of this number, this rational number will be 5 and 1/4. Ganun lang po kadali. Ano po? Next example tayo. Next example tayo. So alisin na natin to. Diyan na natin yan. Erase na natin. Okay, next. Last example. How about meron na tayong negative na number? So paano natin yan i-consider o paano natin yan i-deal with? Okay, we're going to ignore first our negative sign. So nakikita nyo, kunin natin yung numbers na nakikita natin dito. Meron tayong 125. Then, ilagay na natin siya sa numerator. Then, ano ba yung place value ng 105 after this point? Meron, yes, tama ka ulit KML. Meron tayong thousands place. Yung 5 dyan is nasa thousands place, so meaning to say, gagamitin natin yung powers of 10 na 1,000. 1,000. Pwede natin ilagay yung negative na. Ano po? Yung negative, ilagay na lang natin negative. Or pwede tayong mag-reduce ulit into lowest term. At ang pwedeng makapag-divide sa 125 over 1,000 will be, pwede namang 25. Ano po? Pwede namang 25. Tingnan natin yung 25. 125 divided by 25. And also, 1,000 divided by 25. Kung napapansin nyo, meron tayong 125 divided by 5, meron tayong 5. And then 1,000 divided by 25, meron tayong 40. At kung napapansin nyo ulit, yung 5 and 40 pwede pa nating i-divide as na 5. Okay, divide natin ulit by 5. At ang lowest term na natin nito is 5 divided by 5 is 1 over 40 divided by 5 is equals to 8. So therefore, our lowest term or reduced form ng fraction na to is 1 over 8. Pero hindi natin kakalimutan dapat yung negative. So yung negative na yan, ilalagay natin sa unahan ng 1 over 8 na yan. So meron tayo negative 1 over 8. So meron tayong sagot na 1 over 8. Negative 1 over 8. O sa gitna po yung negative natin. Ganun lang po kadali yung converting decimal to fraction using terminating decimals. Ano po? Ngayon, papunta na tayo sa non-terminating decimals. Paano kaya tayo mag-convert ng non-terminating repeating decimals? Okay, eto na tayo. Dito na tayo sa level 2. At yung level 3 natin will be the shortcut. Okay?